The night before my engagement, I discovered the truth. On Marcus Langford's phone was a long trail of monthly payments, half his paycheck, wired straight to his fallen comrade's widow. I didn't play the understanding fiancé. I shoved the phone at him and demanded answers. He spent the entire night on the balcony, silent beneath the dark sky. By dawn he finally muttered, "I admit it. I feel guilty toward her, but that's all." 8 years of love, reduced to guilt. Still, I wasn't ready to walk away. I slipped on my gown, forced a smile, and stepped into the engagement party, as if nothing had happened. But halfway through, the doors burst open. Nathan Brooks, Marcus's childhood friend, shouted across the hall, "Mark?" Lena heard about the engagement. She slit her wrists. The ring slipped from my fingers and hit the floor with a sharp crack. Marcus didn't hesitate. He ran. Eyes burning, I screamed after him, "If you walk out that door today, it's over. Go be her fiancé instead." He paused for a single second, then left without looking back. I stood there, still holding the glass of champagne I had meant to offer our guests. The noise around me faded into silence. The MC froze, microphone in hand, utterly lost for words. Marcus's parents walked over, faces dark with anger, and grabbed my hand. "Sophie, I'll go drag that boy back right now," his father, Richard Langford, said. I shook my head and set the glass down. "Richard, Victoria, let him go." My parents' faces were even grimmer. My mother started crying. "He just abandoned his own engagement party," she snapped. "This is an unforgivable humiliation for our family." I stepped off the stage and told my parents, "Come on, I'll take you home." The hall was in chaos. Nathan rubbed his hands together, guilt written all over his face. "Sophie, I'm sorry. Lena's situation is just too urgent." I looked at him without a word. Nathan and Marcus had grown up together. They both knew Connor Mills, the friend lost to war. They treated Connor's widow Lena like family. But real family wouldn't have chosen to slash her wrists on our engagement day. I grabbed my purse and walked out of the chaotic banquet hall. My phone buzzed again and again in my bag. I didn't answer. I knew it was Marcus. He would explain, apologize, and tell me how dire Lena's situation was, how he had no choice but to go. After 8 years together, I knew him too well. He was loyal, especially to his brothers in arms. Connor had died covering for him. That guilt had weighed on Marcus for 3 whole years. I used to think it was right for him to look after Lena. But today I finally understood. They had crossed a line. Back home, I slipped out of the gown and into regular clothes. I was a nurse at Summit Veterans Medical Center. If Lena had slit her wrists, she would have been brought to our hospital. I grabbed my keys and drove there. In the emergency room, Marcus was sitting by the bedside. Lena lay there, wrists wrapped in thick gauze, face pale, eyes shut, tears still clinging to her lashes. Marcus held her uninjured hand, his brow furrowed tightly. I walked over. Marcus saw me and stood up, eyes full of remorse. "Sophie, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. How is she?" I cut him off, looking at Lena. "The doctor said the wound isn't deep. She's not in any danger, but she's very emotional." I nodded. "That's good." I turned to leave, but Marcus caught my arm. "Sophie, don't be mad. Connor died because of me. I can't just leave Lena to fend for herself. She's all alone, and it's too much for her." I shook off his hand. "Marcus, I'm not mad. I just think it's strange that our engagement party matters less to you than a woman you've only known for 3 years. That's not true. Sophie, you mean the most to me, but she almost died." "The doctor said she'll live." My voice was steady as I looked at him. Marcus opened his mouth, but no words came out. Just then Lena woke up. When she saw me, tears instantly welled in her eyes. "Sophie, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I didn't mean to do this. I just missed Connor so much," she sobbed, her body shaking. "When I heard you two were getting engaged, I thought of me and Connor. I couldn't control myself. I'm sorry I ruined your engagement party." Marcus immediately sat back down beside her, comforting her gently. "It's okay. It's over now. Don't dwell on it. Just focus on getting better." He looked at me, a hint of reproach in his eyes. "Can't you see how miserable she is? Can't you try to understand?" I said nothing and walked away. Outside the hospital, the cold wind stung my face. Only then did I notice my hands had been trembling the whole time. The next morning, Marcus showed up at my door with breakfast. I opened the door but didn't let him in. He handed me the food. "Sophie, I'm here to apologize on Lena's behalf. She lost control yesterday. She didn't mean to cause trouble." She can't apologize herself? Marcus hesitated. She's still really weak. Marcus, let's not talk about her for now. Let's talk about us. What are we supposed to do about the engagement party? How are we going to explain this to our families and friends? He was quiet for a moment. Let's wait a while. Let things die down. Then we'll have another one. Another one? I looked at him. You think this is something you can just redo? What else can we do? It already happened, Sophie. I know you're hurt, but Lena's a widow. She almost died yesterday. Can't we show her a little understanding? Understanding. Again. I took the breakfast and set it on the shoe cabinet by the door. Got it. You should go back. She's alone in the hospital. She needs you. Marcus breathed a sigh of relief, thinking I'd given in. You're too soft-hearted. Don't worry. Once she's discharged, I'll make it up to you. I promise. He left. I tossed the breakfast, bag and all, straight into the trash. Then I headed to work. Passing the inpatient ward, I stopped by to check on Lena. She was sitting up in bed, peeling an apple, and chatting with the woman in the next bed. They were laughing, and Lena looked just fine. When she saw me, her smile faltered. Then she put on a pitiful expression. Sophie, you're here. I nodded. Just checking in. I picked up her chart and flipped through it. Your wound's healing well. You'll be discharged tomorrow. She lowered her head, voice barely a whisper. Thank you for coming. No need. Just don't do anything foolish again. Your body is your own. She bit her lip, eyes reddening. I know, but I can't take it anymore. I didn't respond. I put down the chart and left the room. That afternoon, I found my friend Tara, who works in the ER. Tara, do you remember the patient who tried to slit her wrists yesterday, Lena Voss? Tara thought for a second. Oh, her? Yeah, she came in with a pilot carrying her, frantic as hell. How bad was the wound? Tara snorted. Please. It was just a shallow cut on her wrist, barely deeper than a kitchen accident. She didn't even lose as much blood as a heavy period. It looked scary, but we all knew she was putting on a show. My heart sank. That evening, Marcus picked me up after work. He was in high spirits, saying Lena had been discharged and settled in. I made a reservation. Let's go out for a nice dinner. In the car, he held my hand the whole time. Sophie, I know you've been through a lot. I owe you a perfect engagement party. Just wait, I'll make it up to you. I stared out the window. Marcus, how much do you send Lena every month? I just split my stipend with her. Top pilot paychecks are generous. Half is no small sum. Doesn't she work? She used to be a clerk at some company. After Connor died, she quit. Her health's never been good, so she hasn't found suitable work. So you just support her? Marcus frowned. Sophie, what kind of talk is that? Support her? I'm fulfilling my duty to Connor. He died for me, making sure his widow never wants for anything. Is that wrong? I said nothing. The mood in the car turned icy. At the restaurant we barely spoke. The whole meal passed in silence. On the way home, Marcus's phone rang. It was Lena. He answered, his tone instantly gentle. What's wrong? Are you feeling okay? The light bulb went out? Don't move. I'll come over and change it for you. He hung up and forced a smile at me. Sophie, I'll drop you off. Then I need to head to Lena's. She's alone and scared. I looked at him. Marcus, what is she to you? His face froze. She's Connor's widow, my comrade's family. So you're responsible for every detail of her life? Even changing light bulbs? Sophie, he was getting angry. Why are you being so unreasonable? She just got out of the hospital. Her place is dark. How can I not help? You could call building maintenance or have a technician deliver a bulb. That's not the same. She says she can't trust strangers. I laughed. Right, she only trusts you. I opened the car door. Don't bother driving me. I'll get home on my own. Go ahead, your duty's waiting. I got out and slammed the door. Marcus's car sat behind me for a while, then finally pulled away, heading straight for Lena's place. After that, we entered a cold war. Marcus stopped reaching out to me. I didn't contact him either. The apartment our unit had assigned us was already renovated, just waiting for us to move in after the engagement. I went there alone. The place was spacious but felt hollow. Every piece of furniture had been chosen together. I sat on the couch for a long time. A week later, Marcus finally called. His voice sounded exhausted. Sophie, can we talk? We met at the new apartment. He had lost weight and had dark circles under his eyes. Sophie, I'm sorry. I haven't been myself lately. Lena's been unstable emotionally. I've had to spend extra time with her. I said nothing, waiting for him to go on. I know you're upset, but Sophie, we've been together 8 years. You know me, don't you? With Lena, it's just duty and guilt. Nothing more. I know, I said. He let out a relieved breath. I knew you'd understand me best. He stepped closer, trying to hug me. I moved away. Marcus, I came here today to tell you. I don't want this apartment. He froze. What do you mean? The place our unit gave us. The deed's in your name since we're not married yet. I don't want it anymore. Why? This is our home. I'm afraid one day Miss Voss's light bulb will burn out again, or her drain will clog, and you'll decide she needs a home more than I do. He was speechless. Finally, he took a deep breath. Fine, Sophia, if that's what you think, I'll prove it. He stared at me, enunciating every word. This week, I'll have Lena move in. She'll stay in the guest room. For a moment, my mind went blank. What did you say? I said I'll have Lena move in. His voice rose. She's living alone and I'm worried. She's always getting into trouble. If she's here, right under our noses, I can keep an eye on her. And you can stop worrying too. Is that enough? I looked at him like he was a stranger. Marcus, you're out of your mind. I'm not crazy. I'm perfectly clear-headed. I can't let Connor's widow be homeless. He emphasized every word. Suddenly, a bone-deep exhaustion washed over me. Fine, I said. Let her move in. Marcus clearly hadn't expected me to agree so easily. He was stunned. I took the keys out of my purse and set them on the coffee table. These are yours. From now on, this is your home, with your comrade's widow. I wish you both a happy life. I stood up and walked out of the place I had once looked forward to calling home. As I closed the door behind me, I thought I heard something shatter inside. At last, my tears fell. 8 years, just like that, it was over. Marcus and I broke up. I didn't tell anyone, not even my parents. I simply moved back into my own place. Marcus never came looking for me. Maybe he was busy helping Lena settle in. In his eyes, I was probably just throwing a tantrum. And after a few days, I'd get over it. Life went on. I kept showing up for work. But this was a hospital. There was no way to avoid running into them. Marcus would escort Lena in today for dizziness, tomorrow for chest flutters. Lena clung to Marcus, practically hanging on him. And he didn't push her away. Whenever he saw me, Marcus's gaze would dart away. His lips parted as if to say something, but nothing came out. He'd end up frowning and turning his head. Lena would bury her face even deeper. Our unit had a new doctor, Ethan Caldwell, a young cardiologist just back from overseas. One day Marcus brought Lena to cardiology again. Ethan ordered a full battery of tests, and I helped with the procedures. The results came back. Every indicator was perfectly normal. Lena clutched the report, eyes brimming with tears as she looked at Marcus. Mark, my chest still feels tight. I can't breathe. Marcus immediately grew anxious, waving the report at Ethan. Dr. Caldwell, is there something you missed? Ethan adjusted his glasses before meeting Lena's eyes. Miss Voss, your heart is healthier than mine. He paused, then continued. If you still feel unwell, I suggest you visit the psychiatry department. Lena's face drained of color. Marcus's expression darkened. Dr. Caldwell, what are you implying? I mean, the problem isn't physical, it's psychological. Ethan met his gaze. If you keep convincing yourself you're sick, we'll end up feeling sick, whether it's true or not. With that, he handed the report back to me. Ms. Whitaker, please take Ms. Voss to pay her bill. Marcus led Lena away. Before leaving, he shot me a look, like he blamed me for not speaking up for them. Ethan watched me as I walked off. Is he your boyfriend? Ex-boyfriend, I said. Ethan nodded, dropping the subject. After work, I waited for my ride outside the hospital. Ethan pulled up in his car. Where are you headed? I'll give you a lift. No, thank you. Come on, get in. I actually wanted to talk to you. That Ms. Voss. She's got a histrionic personality, Ethan said suddenly. I was taken aback. She exaggerates her symptoms or creates dramatic scenes to attract attention and sympathy. Like, cutting her wrist? Ethan glanced at me. Exactly. And these behaviors tend to escalate. If the people around her start to get annoyed, she'll resort to even more extreme measures to keep them close. My palms started to sweat. What about Marcus? Doesn't he see through it? People in the middle of it rarely do, Ethan replied, especially when they're weighed down by a sense of moral duty. It's not that he can't see it. He's afraid to, because if he admits she's acting, He has to question all the principles he's been living by. The car stopped in front of my building. "Thank you, Dr. Caldwell." "Call me Ethan," he said. "And stay away from them. That's a whirlpool." I nodded. Deep down I knew he was right. I started going out of my way to avoid Marcus and Lena. I requested a transfer and moved to the inpatient surgical department. The work was more demanding, more exhausting, but at least it kept my mind off all that messy chaos. My mom and dad grew anxious when I stopped mentioning the wedding with Marcus. I couldn't keep it from them any longer. I told them we'd broken up. My mom was so angry she nearly fainted. "Why? Did that punk bully you?" I didn't mention Lena. I just said we weren't compatible, that I was tired. My dad was silent for a long time before he patted my shoulder. "If it's over, then it's over. My daughter's such a catch. She'll have no trouble finding someone better." Marcus's parents came to see me too. Both of them had red-rimmed eyes. "Sophie, it's Marcus who let you down. We're here to apologize on his behalf." "Richard, Victoria, this isn't your fault. It's between me and him." "That Lena." Victoria hesitated. "We know Marcus brought her home. We tried to talk sense into him, yelled at him, but that stubborn boy acted like he was possessed. He said we didn't understand, that we were heartless." "Victoria, let it go. Just let him be. Everyone has to live with the consequences of their choices. Marcus chose his so-called responsibility. Now he has to face all the consequences that come with it." One night I was on the night shift. At 3 a.m, the ER called. There'd been a serious car accident, and they needed a surgical consult. I rushed over. Outside the operating room, I saw someone I never expected. Nathan, Marcus's childhood friend. He was covered in blood, sitting on a bench with his head in his hands. When he saw me, he shot to his feet. "Sophie." "Call me Sophia." "Sophia, Marcus, my heart skipped a beat. Is he hurt?" "He and Lena, both of them are hurt." The operating room lights burned all night. At dawn, Ethan emerged, looking utterly drained. "The patients are out of immediate danger." Only then did I realize he'd been the lead surgeon. Nathan rushed over. "Doctor, how are they?" The man, Marcus Langford, he suffered a comminuted fracture in his right leg and multiple soft tissue contusions. Nathan's knees buckled and he collapsed onto the floor. I had to brace myself against the wall to keep from falling. Flying had been Marcus's whole life. "And the woman?" My voice trembled. Ethan glanced at me, his eyes deep and unreadable. "The woman, Lena Voss, had an intracranial hemorrhage. She's still under observation. Also, she was pregnant for 6 weeks. The baby didn't make it." My mind exploded in a roar. Pregnant, 6 weeks. Counting back, that was the night Marcus ran out of our engagement party. Turns out the Lena he went to take care of that night wasn't just someone who needed a light bulb changed. Marcus finally woke up. He lay in his hospital bed, staring at the ceiling. His leg, encased in a plaster cast, was suspended high above the sheets. I stepped inside. He saw me. A flicker of light crossed his eyes, but it quickly faded. "Sophie." His voice was hoarse. I set a folder down on his nightstand. "These are the preliminary findings from the unit. Once you're healed, you'll have to start the paperwork for permanent grounding." He closed his eyes, saying nothing. "The police investigated the accident. You were speeding. You're fully responsible." Still, he said nothing. "Lena's in the ICU next door. She hasn't regained consciousness." At last he reacted, turning his head to look at me. "The baby? Gone." I said it calmly. A single tear slid from the corner of Marcus's eye. "Sophie, I'm so sorry." I looked at him. "The person you should be sorry for isn't me. It's yourself, your parents, and that uniform you wear." I turned to leave. "Don't go," he called out suddenly. "Sophie, would you ever give me another chance?" I stopped but didn't turn around. "Marcus, the moment you walked out of our engagement party, that was the end of us." "Is it because of the baby?" "That night with her, it was a mistake. I was drunk." "It's not about the baby," I said. "It's about you choosing her over and over. You left me, left our engagement, gave up our home, fought with me, shut me out, all for her. And now, for her, you've thrown away your career. Marcus, what is it about her that's worth all this?" He fell silent. After a long time, I heard his voice, thick with tears. "I don't know. I really don't know. I just feel like I owe Connor, and I have to pay him back." "What you owe Connor isn't my burden to carry." I opened the door and walked out. Ethan waited outside, handing me a hot cup of coffee. You heard everything? He nodded. A man like that isn't worth your tears. I took a sip. I know. When his leg heals, there'll be lasting damage. He'll have a limp. My hand paused. Ethan watched me. Does that hurt? I shook my head. No, I was just thinking he'll never be able to catch up to anyone again. Whether it's a fighter jet in the sky or someone on the ground. Lena woke up, but when she came to, she didn't recognize anyone. The doctor said it was brain damage from the accident, retrograde amnesia. She'd forgotten everything. Her mind had regressed to that of a child, maybe 7 or 8 years old. She was like a blank slate. Marcus's parents visited her once. They couldn't say a word to her, just sighed. Marcus's leg healed slowly. He started physical therapy, sweating through the pain every day. Nathan came to see me. Sophia, I know I shouldn't be here, but Mark's in a bad way right now. The unit handed down their decision, forced retirement. His parents won't speak to him. Lena's in that state, he barely talks. I'm afraid he'll do something drastic. What do you want me to do? Take care of him? Comfort him? Nathan dropped his head. I just thought after 8 years together. Nathan, those 8 years ended the moment he ran out of our engagement party. I never saw Marcus again. On the day he was discharged, his parents came to pick him up. He was in a wheelchair, pushed out by someone else. We looked at each other across the hospital lobby, separated by distance. He had lost so much weight, his eyes were hollow. He looked 10 years older. I turned away and walked into the elevator with Ethan. Ethan started pursuing me. He'd bring me breakfast, wait for me after work, and invite me out to movies. I didn't turn him down, but I didn't say yes either. My mom was thrilled. She thought Ethan was perfect. Sophie, Dr. Caldwell is such a catch. Young, accomplished, steady, you'd better hold on to him. I just smiled. It felt like I had lost the ability to love someone. 6 months later, I ran into Marcus at the supermarket. He was shopping alone, leaning on a cane. He moved slowly, limping with every step. He saw me and froze. Then he forced a smile, one that looked more like he was about to cry. Sophie, long time no see. Long time. A row of shelves stood between us, and neither of us spoke. You, doing okay? He asked first. I'm good. That's good. He pushed his cart away, moving slowly. His figure looked utterly desolate. That night, Ethan came to pick me up. I told him I'd run into Marcus. He took my hand. It's all in the past now. Yeah, Sophia. He looked at me seriously. I know something is holding you back. I'm willing to wait. Whenever you're ready, we'll move forward. I looked at him, my eyes stinging. Ethan, that's not fair to you. In love, there's no fair or unfair, only whether I'm willing. That night, I said yes. We started dating. Life was ordinary, but peaceful. Ethan was busy, and so was I, but we always made time for each other. He remembered my periods and made hot chocolate for me. I made soup for him after his long surgeries. No drama, just quiet companionship. I thought Marcus and Lena would slowly fade out of my life, until the day the military released a statement. It shocked everyone. Marcus was cleared. The investigation proved he truly hadn't known anything. He was just hopelessly naive. Afterward, he came to see me once, right outside the hospital where I worked. That day, Ethan was picking me up after my shift. We had just stepped out the front doors when we saw him. He stood beneath a tree, looking thinner and older than the last time. His hair had started to turn gray. Marcus watched us, watched Ethan holding my hand. His lips parted, as if he wanted to say something. Ethan instinctively pulled me a little behind him. Can we help you? He asked. Marcus's eyes moved past Ethan, settling on me. Sophie, I. He only managed 2 words before his voice broke. Tears rolled down his cheeks. A man nearly 30 years old was crying in front of me like a child. I'm so sorry. I ruined everything. I lost you too, he stammered through the words. I looked at him, feeling nothing but calm. No hate, no pity. It felt like watching a stranger, someone I no longer knew. Marcus, I said quietly, it's all in the past. He broke down even harder. It's not in the past, Sophie. I can't move on. Every night I dream about our engagement day. If I hadn't left, maybe we... There's no maybe, I interrupted. Even without Connor, without Lena, there's no going back for us, because in your heart, there were always things more important than me. Your brotherhood, your guilt, your need to play the hero. But I, Sophia Whitaker, only ever wanted to be my partner's first choice. The only, unquestionable first choice. Ethan squeezed my hand. Marcus stared at our entwined fingers, his eyes finally losing all hope. He knew in that moment he had lost me for good. He didn't say anything else. He turned away, leaning on his cane, limping off into the distance. His shadow was long and lonely under the setting sun. Ethan took me to the riverbank. We watched the water, letting the evening breeze wash over us. "Do you still love him?" he asked suddenly. I thought for a long time. Maybe I loved the boy who ran 10 laps around the track at 18 just to win me over. The young pilot at 20 who hugged me after his first flight and promised he'd protect me forever. But not the Marcus crushed by so-called duty, unable to tell right from wrong. That person died the day of our engagement party. Yeah, he's gone. The person by your side now is me. I leaned against his shoulder, watching the sun sink beyond the horizon. I knew my new life had begun. Ethan and I got married. The wedding was simple, just family from both sides. No chaos or spectacle like the engagement party had been. There was only peace and warmth. During our vows, Ethan looked into my eyes and said, "Sophia, from today on, you are my first choice, the only, unquestionable first choice." I smiled, and tears rolled down my cheeks. After we married, we had a child of our own, a sweet little girl named Rose Caldwell. Ethan turned out to be a wonderful husband and an amazing father. He changed Rose's diapers and got up in the middle of the night to feed her. He said he didn't want to miss a single moment of her growing up. My life felt so blissful, it hardly seemed real. I heard about Marcus through Nathan. He told me Marcus had returned to his hometown after leaving the service. He never found another job, just lived off his veteran's pension. His parents tried to set him up with someone, but he refused every time. He stayed single. His legs still ached whenever the weather turned bad. He never smiled again. Nathan sighed. His life, it's basically ruined. I couldn't find the words to respond. Connor and Lena were both sentenced. Treason, espionage, found guilty on multiple counts. The law would deal with them as harshly as possible. But Marcus hadn't broken any laws. Yet it was as if he had been handed a life sentence, locked away forever in that absurd and tragic past. One day, Ethan and I took Rose to the park. From a distance, I thought I saw a familiar figure. A man sat alone on a bench, feeding pigeons. His hair was white, his back hunched. Ethan followed my gaze. "Is that him?" I nodded. Rose dropped her ice cream and burst into tears. I snapped out of it and quickly knelt to comfort her. Ethan scooped Rose up from my arms, hugging her close. "I'll get you another one, sweetheart. Don't cry, okay?" Rose's sobs turned to giggles. The three of us, laughing, teasing, slowly walked away. I didn't look back, but I knew that man on the bench was still watching us. His gaze would follow us for a long, long time, until we finally disappeared from sight. Just like I once watched his back, as he walked away without hesitation.